I want to talk about whistleblowing because there are a lot of people that will say you can't have success after whistleblowing. What do you feel about that?
I didn't even know the word till Lord Kamlesh Patel said it in his press conference, and then I got told the same thing. Whistleblowers never have a successful life after. And I'm determined to change it. I know there's a stigma to the word. No matter what anyone says, there is a stigma to the word whistleblowing. Look, it's scary. There is moments that you feel like, whoa, does this even go on? But I'm going to embrace it.
The DCMS hearing, how do you reflect on that day?
Yeah, that hour and 45 changed my life. I guess I was a bit naive to it all and a little bit blasé about it. I didn't really know what I was doing or going into. To this day, I've not been able to watch it back. So I hope at some point I can sort of watch it back as well. But yeah, it changed my life. And I don't think I realised how it did change my life for a while after that as well.
It seemed like there was like a peace that you were feeling. Is that what it felt like?
It felt like a lot of pain was leaving my body, actually. It felt like I was just, I'd been carrying it for such a long time. And I remember so clearly that, I just wanted to get it off my shoulders. I didn't want to carry it on my own anymore.
I think you asked about how you found the strength to go and speak that truth. And what you said, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it because it's like the most incredible quote. You said, I have a bit of Barnsley and a bit of Karachi in me. Just unpack that for me.
Moved from Karachi, that's where I was born. The circumstances that we moved from were pretty difficult. And then, I don't know, and everyone asks me this all the time, we end up in Barnsley, of all places. I'm incredibly proud of both parts of my upbringing and, the strength that I've built from that, moving countries at a young age. Seeing some of the things I've seen has built a lot of strength within me.
All gone, stumped. So Rafiq gets his second wicket.
A lot of the time, especially if you experience racism as a brown person in this country, it kind of feels like your Britishness is stripped from you. And that's what I took from that quote, that you are from Barnsley, you are from Yorkshire. Even if this is all linked to Yorkshire Cricket Club, no one can take that away from you, right? And I think that's really incredible.
I think that's the sad part, that, having to leave a place I've called home for 21 years. My father moved us out of Karachi because of safety reasons. For me to do that 21 years later, deja vu, is, even when I talk about it, I just find it like, how has that happened?
Stumped, gone, you can keep walking now.
It got to a point where it was, something I was just waiting for something really bad to happen, and it only takes 2 minutes to go into anything I tweet and go into the replies, and they're predominantly from a place that I've called home for 21 years, and that hurts. Your Britishness, or you're constantly having to justify your upbringing and the British part of your upbringing. It gets to a point where you're like, you know what, maybe I'm just not welcomed. I got to that point, and I find it really difficult that I'll ever live back in Yorkshire. But it was either that or standing up. I will never change standing up against racism, and if people have got a problem with that, then that's on them.
The racism itself wasn't the end of this story. It was the hearing, it was everything that happened after, moving abroad. How has it all impacted your mental health?
I remember at the end of the hearing, physically and mentally, I was pretty shattered. I'd put on a lot of weight. I was taking antidepressants again, and I was not in a very good place. But I've had therapy, which has been incredible for me. And as I said, it's mental health, something I've struggled with for a long time. I'm not the victim, and I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I get emotional. I'm sensitive, but I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't want anyone's sympathy. I just want people to make sure they fight and stop this happening to their own kids.
Not a lot of people in sport speak out against racism towards South Asian people, right? Because there's not a lot of South Asian people at the top levels of sport. Do you think it's taken seriously?
I think the conversation around racism can be, black and white, and I think as brown people we are a forgotten race, because every fight against discrimination is the same fight. And the more united we are, we're more likely to get our respect. And you know, the Black Lives Matter movement was huge, and I was in awe of the black community and the way they came together. And I think it's on us to make sure we do the same. Otherwise, our kids are going to have these conversations. You know, as a parent, is that choice, is that career ladder more important? Because that career ladder, if you're looking the other way, could just be greenlighting racist abuse for your children. That's the reality. And I know I put that a little bit bluntly, but you know, that is a choice.